So, if this thing turns around on me, I'll be fucking livid. But I'm sure I would see the funny side, but I don't want it to. Mind you, my jumper's pretty nice today. My hair looks good, but you know when you're just like, nah, not feeling it. So, I've never really done it. I've got the phone in my, the thing that, well, you don't know, it's a metal thing that my phone charges in. Yeah, so it's working all right just now. How are you doing, Michelle? Thank you for doing that, Michelle. I definitely need it. Like, it's so weird it is. It's like one day I'm feeling fucking, never mind, amazing. Like I say, I'm feeling fucking elated or euphoric. And then the next day, Jesus, like, it's just, hello, all the soul fam. Yeah, the next day I can be like totally zapped or worse, feeling really shite. So yeah, but it's kind of, it's interesting, you know what I mean? It's well, when you say you, me, both, Michelle, do you have the good day and then the bad day? Hopefully it's not just a string of bad days or dour moments. But yeah, fuck me, you just gotta roll it. Oh my god, actually, do you know what? Same, I fall asleep some days at drop out. Oh, Charlotte, totally. I mean, I've got inattentive ADHD, so, permanent sloth mode, really. Unless I'm really hyper. And to be honest with you, astrology-wise, it's the very last degree of Sagittarius sun, and it is Sagittarius moon. It's my moon. So, I should be, like, fully fucking... it's both fuck you, Asian. I can't even say that. Fuck you, Asian. Yeah. I feel you. Yeah, basically. Yeah, I should be feeling great. Oh my god, did you see that post? Holy fucking shit, man. I'm sorry if that hits anyone else like it hit me, but obviously there's, it's, oh god, triggering. Very triggering. But yeah, I mean, you'd have to not have a heart for something like that to not touch you. But oh my god, the timing of it, interesting. They must have really wanted me to have a good fucking cry, because I was like, whoa. And when you cry, like, it felt like I was definitely releasing trapped pain, because that's what crying is, but like real serious shit from years ago. So so I done that. Just I wasn't crying for ages. I just sort of let it out, but I'm feeling sensitive. But again, to be honest with you, I'm feeling sensitive because, like, listen, whether it's fucking just Ascension and the fact that I'm a collective channel, which not everybody is. It's not a job that everyone could handle, actually, having my Pluto just full stop. Like, because seriously, not going a big fucking channeling about my chart again, because I always do that, but it is true, like that, I've literally never met anybody with that exact placement. It'll be fascinating whenever I do. And it's, and when anyone knows astrology, they're like, oh my god, like, basically, how do you get through life? And how do I get through life? Well, I get through life by being a counsellor / therapist, whatever you call it, depending on what part of the word, by being a shaman, by having a deep interest in healing self and healing others and transmuting the pain. It's the only way. In astrology, it's all of it. It's the only way for it. And yeah, in the hypnotherapy, the subconscious mind, it's utilising that powerful energy for good. So let's do some of that. But yeah, that is probably because it was the Scorpio, the last of the Scorpio moon last night. Oh my god! And it's really fucking well. So I've got wee notes here just to remind me, because sometimes I forget. But oh, see, it's doing it already. So do you know what I'm going to do tonight? Right, I've got my wee timer. I'm going to be very kind and loving to myself, which is quite interesting, because there's actually a card in the cards that I'm holding that says that. So just again, if you're new, every word that I'm saying is channeling. and it's going to have meaning for someone out there. And I do feel, you know, I wouldn't be surprised if I don't really show my face until the spring or something. I mean, I think that's a bit dramatic, like, to be honest. Like, I'm sure I will pop up for a spontaneous live before that. But, yeah, I don't know, I wouldn't even be surprised if it was, like, the next, you know, the spring equinox on the 21st of March, because I just feel with the combination of coming on here to help people, that some people are going to be feeling really, really down. And then whenever I've got, you know, whenever I get back to working with people, which I don't think will be till mid-January, yeah, I don't know. I've just got a feeling I might be wrong. I'm willing to be wrong. You see, don't let pride get in your way. There's something about that. So this was from yesterday's cards, right? So the whole point. Oh wait a minute, this is really long. All I know is absolutely do not belong back in Ohio. 4 months away. Oh my God. Oh right, I get it. That's what you. Oh shit, Michelle, I can't see it. This is so. Wait a minute. I feel like I'm gonna live chat. Oh, there we go. I can see it now. Right. Peeps are off the charts, crazy as fuck. Some right. All I want to do is barricade. Yeah. So did you see that? I just said that back in the email. I'd literally just sent it back right now. Unfortunately, obviously, I've got to be careful what I say. I don't want to offend people, because we will have a mixture of people that took the jibber jabber. So again, probably people that tune into this are people like, fucking hell. I was about to say fuck my life again, but who take that saying back? I don't want to be somebody that says that. Yeah. Yeah, most people that took that watch this probably regret it, like I would say. Or if they listen to me and hang around and listen, they're probably, you know what I mean? That yeah, they will have it anyway, whatever. But we transmute the energy of that around here. So, but we'll not go into that, because they'll fuck up the live or something. So on that note, that's actually that means something. Yes, thank you. I have no judgment either way. It just is. Oh no, I wasn't saying you were doing that, by the way, because it's like, it is what it is. But just when I was responding to you, because you know, well, you know what I think. You know what I mean? It's like, I tried. Yeah, I warned people not to do it, and I wouldn't say nobody listened, but lots of people didn't listen. But it's just, it is what it is. You know, you reach a certain point where people genuinely, you know, you do what you're meant to do. I do believe everything happens for a reason. But I'm here to stand in compassion, so that anybody that needs help, that wants help, that did anything like that, you know, I can help you. We'll just leave it at that. Just because of, you know, just because again, as if we're big enough around here that, you know, anything's gonna happen. But that does mean something, because in the video that I channeled 2 videos yesterday. One of them I will just publish, but it was basically I didn't hardly pull any cards, other than the one that the phone was staring at, because because it was Scorpio moon and I get even more deep. Oh, and it was funny oh no, that is the one that's quite funny. It was quite sexual as well. But just in the sense that, oh no, I think that's the one you can't see. Sorry, that was a bit of a tease, wasn't it? I'll need to do another one. But I mean, just the energy was very, I just felt it. It was very, yeah, it was very sexual. It was very Kundalini energy. But yeah, I was just channeling all this stuff, and it was, so you'll see it, right? And then the next one that I done, because his phone died, was they're both 40 minutes, but you're only going to see one of them. I did then pull the cards. I'm going to read what you wrote in a minute, Charlotte. I think you were just responding to Michelle. It was really good, and these are the cards are still sitting here, so I'm going to do it again, because it's quite interesting, you know, right? See, when something happens when something happens to a video that I do, whether it be a recorded or a live, which doesn't happen a lot, you could see it as a bit like when I channel a big written post and then it literally disappears. That's happened over the 7 years that I've, you know, because again, although I've just been doing that, you know, for this, well, most of this month, and then I just stopped the other day because I'll do it when I feel guided to do it, you know what I mean, with the written posts, but that takes a lot of energy as well, and yeah, it was, yeah, it just, I don't know what I mean, it just, doing it all's a bit much, just now, just while I'm getting my energy back, but anyway, yeah, you can see it as it's meant to be when you lose it, because when I write it, it's going to come out better the next time, right? And it usually is that. Or I'm being protected, it can be that. Or it's the energies that don't want the message to get out. And at first, so basically, yeah, long story short, I can't publish the second one because the Spotify came on by mistake, or so we think. And so it's got a copyright, do you know what I mean? So I'm like, oh, fuck. I could, to be honest, actually, I could sort of cut that bit and then put the rest up, but it seems a bit 11:11. It seems a bit, the good news is I'm tan as fuck. I'm going to scroll back and read this, by the way. I just need to spit all this out. That's funny, and that's very good. You do get a good tan. I noticed that when we've been on the Zoom. Basically, oh god, sorry, I'm going so slow, I'm getting impatient myself, but I'll spit out eventually. That's going to have something to do with it, by the way. Yeah, I've come to the conclusion it is energies that don't want me to get out, because it's a shame, because both videos were kind of my more vulnerable ones, I would say, because I don't want to go into my own stuff as in depth as what they made me do for 4 weeks straight when it was in that part of my chart, which just came to an end, you know, about 4 weeks ago. Really, it was right when we started the challenge. I was like, oh, thank fuck for that, because it was just constant. Like, that's the part that they, you know, it was the part about I have to share vulnerably. It's to do with my North Node and Gemini, my own stuff to help others, which I do all the fucking time anyway, but it just felt too much. And then, so it was a bit like that, and I feel every Scorpio moon it is. It's either super psychic detective, it's either really sexual, or it's gonna go too deep. You know what I mean? Like, just how interesting is they're pulling my eyes to the bit written on the bit of paper that says afraid of intimacy in big capital letters. But you can see that's why I'm made to be so vulnerable and so intimate. Connect and all of yous on here, and connecting you with your masculine, feminine energy, and connecting masculine, feminine, twin flame pairs together. You know what I mean? I have done that in the past. It's happening now. It could be happening. People haven't updated me. You know what I mean? It's just, that is what I'm here to do. Like I channeled earlier with the post, like my birthday numbers, because we're at 418 and I'm 18-4. Love it. It's the union card, 1111. It's commonly known as the twin flame union card. That's not a coincidence. Nothing's ever a coincidence. Just as I'd said, I'm just repeating what I wrote earlier, but at 18 is the moon in the tarot. I'm very psychic, if you haven't noticed. I'm very good at digging into shadow work and secrets and helping others with their intuitive gifts. Anything hidden, really, I can spot. And oh yes, Michelle. And then also the hermit, and I am a total hermit. Yeah, sometimes I come to life, well, really every time I come to life on here, definitely when I'm on camera, but even something, not so much tonight, because that's my work. I love it, but it's my work. They drew me the word entrepreneur when I said that. But yeah, that's my work. And also I've got a Leo midheaven. Leo likes to go big or go home. It's fucking peacocking it up, you know what I mean? Whether I like it or not, my higher self's going to be like, ta-da! And it's great for mediumship. That placement is brilliant, because you saw the other day. So again, by the way, if you haven't watched that video, please do watch it, because there might be a message hiding somewhere for you. Unfortunately, everybody that said that they liked it, you can't see it because it's people letting me know in private. So that's okay. But I'm just letting you know that people did say to me, you know, that they like, yeah, either I'll hold that until it happens because it was future stuff. And actually on that note, so see, mediumship is not an exact science, right? Anybody that does it or knows a lot about it will know that. When you tune into the mediumship Mondays, especially, because it is different, in my opinion, it is different from what I do all the other times, unless you actually hear me saying, oh, I've got, you know, I don't know, unless you actually, you know, hear me saying, oh, well, I wouldn't say, oh, I'm going to do mediumship now, but unless you hear me saying, oh, look, I've got your granny here, blah, 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 what I do there is different, because I am sitting down to connect with the loved ones in spirit. The other times they just bombard me when I'm channeling, you know, in general. But yeah, because for one of the messages I was connecting with something, and so sometimes it could be off, right? If I'm saying something like, oh, a memory of your nan, but say you never met them or something, right? It's like I'm picking up on a grandmother vibration, as mediums would say, you know what I mean? And it's just a wee bit off, or it could be like an older auntie or something. You know, you tend not, you don't want to stretch out any more than that, because then it's kind of, you know what I mean? It's just, yeah, I like to, you know, I like to be as close to it as I can, or I just wouldn't say it. So, but just bear that in mind if you're new to that kind of stuff. It's just listen to what's said, and then sort of sometimes you need to keep it for a while for it to make sense. Like for instance, here's a good example. A medium had said to me, it'll be 2 years ago in February, and basically they were describing when I get my wisdom tooth out, which was meant to be like a year and a half ago, and it still hasn't happened. But they described something in great detail that I know that it is still something that's yet to happen. And then yeah, there's quite another thing. A friend of mine that's a medium had said to me, we both got the same date about something, which hasn't happened yet as well, but I'm always looking out for that. Anyway, bloody blah. So just bear that in mind. But yeah, definitely do that. If you can let me know in public what resonates, or even just you enjoy it, then that really helps, because it will encourage the others. And I know that you two always do anyway. But yeah, I really loved that, and it was quite fat when I watched it back. I watched it twice because I was fascinated with the synchronicities. Even the fact that I was singing I love you, baby, and because then I started talking about rainbow babies. So even that was part of it. I didn't even realise until I watched it back. I thought, oh my god. My eyes just got drawn to 1804. Oh god, maybe people's babies are coming in April. But of course, if that's happening, that would be, you would already know that. Unless you're making a baby in April, guys, and that is baby making season, because that is Aries, it's new beginnings. Right, so see what I mean? It's Jupiter in Aries. It's talking about that fire shit. Right, so there is a theme of afraid of intimacy going on, and that is why Divine Masculine collectives, regardless of gender, are saying, I'm afraid to contact you. And that's why you've got people like me sitting here saying, well, I was about to say don't be afraid, but we can't say don't be afraid, right? Because people have got reasons, and these are the reasons. So this is what I mean. Scorpio energy went in. So can I just say, right, oh wait a minute, it was juicy, right? And is there a part of me that's maybe a little bit glad I'm not publishing that? Yeah, I'm not going to lie. Yeah, my shadow's like, yeah, maybe it's, you know, maybe it's for the best. But it was quite funny and quite entertaining. So if I can find a way to clip that, I might just put it up at a later date, but I can't be arsed, and sometimes I can't even work out how to do it. So, but I'm going to do most of the reading again. Because I do feel it's energies that don't want me to, because it would help. It would basically help the Divine Masculines, the ones that it is just that, it's just their fear in the way, or their pride. Bearing in mind that so what do you mean no one is awoke here? I think we're all very much awake, Michelle. Or people wouldn't be watching the channel. I don't like the word woke. You said awoke. I don't like the word woke because there's a difference between awakening, awakened, and woke. That seems to be what the people that are trying to put people off the scent say. But yeah. Oh, right, wait. Oh, right, I see what you mean. I thought you meant here. You mean physically where you are. Right, I got you. I'm like, well, that doesn't make sense. So what was I going to say? Yeah, so basically there's that, right? There was an attack. That sounds really serious. But yeah, there was definitely a corruption of me not putting up that second one. Because I think what I said about sex was really interesting. Maybe I'll just fucking say it again. Oh, God, shit. Right. Okay, let's just see if the same stuff comes out, right? Because I've had some interesting downloads lately of, I do feel, see for some divine feminines, right? It usually is that divine masculine has lots of admirers, right? Particularly the male ones, but I'm sure you female ones, I can't. That's right. What the fuck? I'm not shitting you, right? Because it's not a secret anymore. Because they will. Oh, mind you, I didn't publish some of them. Anyway, right as I said that, I got drawn to his birthday. That's fucking crazy. So I've got drawn to my birthday and his birthday. Right, get used to this, right? Fucking hell. It's a constant in my life for a very long time, but it's just they're just showing you it full even more than what they ever do. See, I used to see things and not call it out, but I'm calling it out just in case anybody else is watching, him or anybody else that wants to fucking see how real this is. Yeah, basically, yeah, that's that, right? Whether it's mine or anybody else's, I'm used to channeling about there's lots of people that fancy divine masculine and they're batting them off, right? Or they're not batting them off and they're getting involved, you know what I mean? Like, either people are still at that bit or they've been at that bit and they're healing from it and they're away, and then some are through that bit and they're with their twin, right? Everyone's at all different bits. But the downloads I was getting the last couple of days are that divine feminines have secret admirers, like, and I'm talking like, this isn't just people that like people that may be in love with you. So I don't know who that is out there, because a lot of the people that talk on here seem to be very much divine masculine women, and but that could totally still apply to you, and but there maybe is some divine feminine women and men and whatever you identify as tuning in. So just in case they aren't, yeah. So, because I would like to know if anybody that is in this community, let me know in private. If not, if you're not okay to do it in public, I would like to know if anybody is getting proof of that. Because because the reason that I think I maybe did say that in another video, but it's just basically the point is because it doesn't fucking matter, right? Like, that's a true divine feminine, but it doesn't matter, right? It's always going to be. I put it this way, if that applies to me, I'm going to make the same joke again because I don't know if that was in that video. And I find my jokes pretty funny, guys. Know all of them, but that was funny. Because what was it I said? I think it might be the one I'm still putting out. I just can't remember, so I'll say it. But it was like I said, let's face it, that's hundreds for me. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't know who that could be fucking anyone. And then I was like, I'm only joking. It was funnier the first time. But what else about that? Oh yeah, but basically, yeah, I was just basically saying in my case, if that does apply, it really, it doesn't. I wouldn't be nasty to someone. I wouldn't be rude. Like, I wouldn't be nasty to someone, but it doesn't matter, right? Like, nobody's getting a look at me. I think that's blindingly fucking obvious. You know what I mean? Of course, it could be your divine masculine coming at you full energy, whatever you want to call it. I'm going to shuffle the tarot actually. See, or it could be a bit of both, because it just occurred to me when I was channeling that card the other night, and I remember I pointed to the two good looking guys fighting, it was the Five of Wands, and that's how they were showing me, and I was like, oh, so it's not literally fighting, although now they're actually showing me when I once saw Two guys fighting over a girl, that's funny. It could be energetically, right? And it's probably just that's hilarious. They just said it's probably just to even up the playing field of what's occurred before, where it would be divine masculines having lots of different women, but you know what I mean. But that's actually getting involved. Whereas, like I say, you know, some divine feminines may choose to do that as part of their path, of part of their surrendering. But I strongly wouldn't advise it, Charlotte. That's actually crazy. Why does it say that time? Oh my god! You don't even know that you. Fucking screenshot that shit. That's mental. It says that time because it is that time. You just put a fucking... Alright, anyway. I can't even deal. I can't even deal with that synchronicity. I can't deal with that synchronicity. That was very... Thank you for that. That was very synchronistic. Oh, wait a minute. I need a fucking clock. I'm too hot as well. See what I mean? I'm too hot. I mean, literally. But somebody thinks I'm too hot. Let me tell you, I'm not fucking feeling too hot, so if people want to let me know I'm hot, that's absolutely fine by me, whether you're my divine masculine or not, but you're not going to be getting taken up on any offers that you've got, so keep it clean. It kind of reminds me of when I first started. Sorry, I'm going to read back. I'm glad I just went through to get the clock, because I do want to start soon, because I want to do the meditation, going over the exact time. When I first started, oh my god, like with the YouTube, I think this was like it must have been right when I started this channel. Somebody in America sent me an email basically confessing his undying love. He was like, you're very talented and beautiful and blah blah blah, all this stuff. I'm trying to find... No, that's Shan, I won't read it out, that's not nice. But it was, yeah. Anyway, it was funny. So, again, I'm not just saying this to, you know, it's that'll be a collective thing. And it's because of the sexual energy that you ooze, people are drawn to it. Like, remember that time I said I was at my sister's and a guy was cleaning the window and he was chatting me up, and I'm that, you know, daft, basically, something I don't get, you know what I mean? I didn't get it. I just thought he was being friendly, and then my mum actually started laughing before she actually even, like, left where we were, and I was like, for fuck's sake, Rona, you could have fucking held the laughter in until, you know, the guy was not in sight. Oh my god, that was funny though. And it's just because, and I remember, I think literally that day before I left to go and see my nieces and that, I had been channeling about twin flame unions and all of that. Anyway, pretty funny. So, just warning you, you know what I mean? It's like, be careful with that. Oh yeah, but it's that. It's because, you know, not all divine feminines are... I'm not saying you have to be drunk to make drunken mistakes involving sex and shit like that, but most people are. Let's face it, it's not as if you're like, oh yeah, I was totally sober and I just, you know, totally fucked up and fell into bed with someone. No, it's not usually. That story would be even more worrying, wouldn't it? But it's yeah, not all people on the twin flame path are sober, and you know, just be careful that you're not in a vulnerable... Oh, I think that's why they're getting me, like, just be careful that you're not leaving yourself vulnerable if you're drinking and out at parties or whatever. And although I didn't feel the you know, any the men or the women, because you could be oh god, that's just going to confuse me. Do you know what I mean? But it could be women that are interested in women that are interested in men that are divine feminines, whatever. And it also could still be the old shinwig of the shinwig. I've just made up a word. The old chestnut of the, you know, the girls that are, or the women that are after the divine masculine men or divine masculine women, and yeah, because they've got powerful sexual energy. So it's whatever, whoever what applies to. Everyone's on different timelines. Right, so what else have I got written down here? Solstice, yesterday's cards, which I haven't even done yet. Oh God, please somebody remind me to do Marie's cards, because she's been waiting. She donated the other day. She you know, she would understand, but it's I need to do them. Right, Mercury Retrograde. Before I forget, Mercury Retrograde, I'm sure lots of you know, but Mercury, I'm not going to teach what Mercury, well, I kind of have to. Mercury Retrograde is, do you know what's quite funny? That was the first Facebook Live I ever done, was about Mercury Retrograde. And it's quite funny, like a big astrologer, like he wasn't like well known or anything, but he had loads of subscribers, actually comment. I don't know how he found it, but he found it on my thing and was like, this is brilliant. I remember that, I was like, oh my God. But basically, yeah, Mercury retrograde happens 3 or 4 times a year. It's 4 times a year this year, and it might even be 4 times a year every year. And basically, it is when communication goes tits up, your ex gets in touch, and it's not just romantic ex, it can be like anybody from the past seeking closure. You can reminisce about the past can come up a lot for healing, past life stuff too. Technological shit usually gets a bit haywire. And traffic, be careful when you're driving. Please like the video, guys, if you haven't liked the video already. I don't know how, can I like my own? Can I do that? No, I can't. I don't know how to do it on the phone. So yeah, so basically the point of me say thank you, whoever done that. The point is, if you need to communicate something, thank you. If you need to communicate something important, whether it be of the that's hilarious. It just said 2 likes and now it's went back to 0. See what I mean? Weird shit's happening. And now it's went back to yeah, if you need to communicate something, whether it be to your twin flame, whether it be to a karmic, whether it be, like, you know, as in we're done, because there's a lot of those conversations happening too, or whether it be to like a karmic friend or family member, like, look, you know, contract over. I'm joking, don't say that. I always say that because that's what one of my it's one of you guys said it to me once, like, you know, the contracts. I'm like, that's fucking well harsh, do you know what I mean? Anybody that I had to move away from and set boundaries with, you know what I mean? It's rough, so I wouldn't even say like, listen, contract over, stop fucking texting. Do you know what I mean? It's a bit harsh. But find a nice way to say it, you know. And like you say, sometimes the nice way is just don't message back. Oh, they're getting me to say that for a reason, because that is actually why twin flames ghost. You know what I mean? Divine masculines. Actually, why did I say twin flames? It's never the fucking divine feminine that ghosts. If a divine feminine's ghosting, it's fucking playing games, and I'm fucking well past that shit. That's why I'm like, listen, I'm not being funny, but I don't really see too many twin flame people that are doing that. Like, you know, there are a few, but like real ones, but you know, that are as vulnerable. And it's so that should help some, you know, when the other half of my soul is ready to have the big scary chat, when he's free and we've not got this card coming out. Yep, that's the truth. Yep, and yep, and yep, and yeah, I'm not available. So that some of them are some of them are in that position, and we just don't know who that applies to. And it also doesn't always need to be that they're not available because they're still with someone. It can be like, I'm not available because I'm healing right now, and I'm secretly watching you to learn all about this stuff. But it's not much of a secret, is it? Again, whether it's my one or any fucking one else's, it's not a secret. There's lots of people on YouTube telling the secrets, if that's the case. That's why I just surrendered to buying a couple of more card decks that are going to help us. I'm trying to find the big one with all the words, but I don't know where it is, so I don't think we're meant to use it. I've just got the wee one there. I'll shuffle that again for the energy. But basically, I think what they're getting me to just point out is that the mirroring thing. You know what I mean? If someone's afraid, the other person's afraid too, but it's just for different reasons, isn't it? And I suppose these are all the reasons. Like, this isn't going to be every single divine masculines, but it's got to be someone out there. So, let's get into yesterday's... Oh, wait a minute. Let me read... Sorry, I'm fucking going all over the place here. What's the fucking... What's new? Pussycat. Right. Let me read the comments. Not that anyone isn't. I always say that. Right, so... I read that bit. Fluctuation, emphasis on fuck. Right, I read that bit. How are you? We're just having a late tea. Only managed to get up at lunchtime. I was feeling so sick. Like, oh, Charlotte, that's horrible. That's how, you know, Charlotte, you know what that, I hope you're feeling better today, but you know what that was? That was the last of the Scorpio moon last night. Because I know your chart was battering you, and it was battering me. That was me too. Obviously, if you'd seen what I wrote, you'll see why. I fucking got up at 5 in the morning and had a fucking feast because I hadn't eaten enough. But hope you're feeling better. Trying to adjust to new circumstances. It's all good. You guys are my support. It's so appreciated. No one is. Oh, right. I see what you were saying now. Yes, we have got you. Doubtful for me. I hardly ever see men these days. No, near da, but that's what I mean, and that's why I'm like, fucking hell, man. If that applies to me, I'll be like, you've done that thing where people fall in love with people on the internet. You know what I mean? But I mean, to be honest, right? Again, I'm trying to be respectful here because that's why I think the other ones, well, it's not. It's just people. It's what do you call that again? When somebody falls in love with someone on the internet, it's called something. I just can't remember. I'll Google after. Like, it's not that it's not real. Because I was going to make a joke there and be like, technically, if my one's tuned into this, he's done that too. I'm like, you might not even feel the same when we meet in person. You might be like, you're nippies. Fuck, I'm away. I made the right decision. I just got to 37 minutes. That's funny. Oh my god. Too funny. But yeah, I never see men. I never see anyone. I just, like, you know, see friends selectively. and family. And my nieces who are my family, you know what I mean? But I mean, I didn't even see them for weeks on end because I never left the fucking house and I wasn't well and I was, yeah. So I hear you. But people can still fall in love with you. Right, so, right. That will be for me to know and you to always wonder what you did. What you done it again there too though, because you put 21. You said that at 21:12, which is today, and it also links back to 10 years ago when the world was ending, like it is today. Catfish. Catfish. Oh, that'd be funny. Nobody'd be able to get to fucking do that to me, man. I'd be like questioning anybody that... I mean, I'm that suspicious. See when people even text me and it has got their number and you can even go away and check it on the WhatsApp, which I've not heard for months. I still ask if it's him. I'd be asking for all the fucking proof. I'm like, how do I know that you're who you say you are? So, again, for anyone wanting to fucking do that to me out there, don't even bother, because I'll probably not answer you. Do you know what I mean? And whenever the right people get in touch, I'm be like, you're going to have to prove it somehow. And good luck to my twin flame, because I forgot what his voice is like, so I've no idea how he's going to prove that. I just... It's like... God, sorry, it appears to be twin flame comediumship tonight. It must be that. See, I mean, it's that Sagittarius energy. It's because it's Sag Sun, Sag Moon. That's a comedian's placement. Charlotte, do you watch Celebs Go Dating? Because that guy, Rob, his Mercury's in Sagittarius, and he is, oh my god, I nearly pee myself laughing at him. I was watching it at 1 in the morning last night, and I keep laughing really loud. And then, of course, when I'm laughing, it triggers my coughing. I'm like, oh, shit. But, oh, my God, it's because it's so fucking, it's humour's fucking filth as well. It's hilarious. Anyway, right, let's get into this. I've caught up with the comments. Right, so. My fucking God, what have I wrote here? Do you not watch it? Oh, Charlotte, you should watch it. It's really funny. Like, it's honestly, I'm not even kidding. Like, I love it because of the therapist and the life coach. It's like, well, it's the two things that I'm that combined, and then all the other stuff. So sorry, I'm burping here. I'm drinking the fizzy water bits when I'm transmuting the energy. Yeah, but I love it. I love watching the evolution of the people that are, particularly the ones that are afraid of intimacy, and then they actually find someone, or even just, a lot of the time they don't find anyone at the end of it, but they're just more open. You can tell they're the next person to get involved with, it's going to be healthier. I love it. And it's just really funny. Like, the way he narrates is hilarious. I'm a good advert for them, eh? Right, anyway. Moving on. So, so I'm just trying to think, has it got Gary Lucy? Yeah, it has, yeah. And that's a bit of a setup, actually. And I can totally tell, because I've got friends that work in TV, and I know that that's all fucking planned. But it was like, you could just tell that was going to happen. That, oh, by the way, I bet you this is going to have something to do with Twin Flame Journey. I'm cringing already, and I don't even know what they're going to make me say. But you could tell that was going to happen. Because, I'd saw it. I'd basically saw it on Google that they were together now, because it's a few months behind. Yeah, I'll put it back in the order it came out. And because it's like she basically, let him down gently, saying like, let's just be friend zone them. And then, oh, wait a minute, this is going to be, this is funny, this is going to make sense to some people. I just don't even know what I'm going to say yet. She friend-zoned him, but you could tell it's like, but they do get together, right? So anyway, he's gutted, and then he goes on a few dates and that, but he's thinking about her. Yeah, and then anyway, I think it's the last of the series, and she is then like, oh, on that date I couldn't stop thinking about Gary. So I was like, oh, fuck off, that's not even genuine. Do you know what I mean? Like, that was they've been told to do that. Like, I'm sorry, I've got Pluto 0 degree Scorpio in the 12th house. That's a setup, if ever I fucking saw one. But it is cute, it's cute. So I'm gonna pretend like I didn't know that. And I like her because she's very vulnerable. It's like she's a bit, God, you know what? She's a little bit like me in that way. Maybe not. I don't think I would be like that. Maybe I would. But it's, you know what I mean? She kind of, the chat goes a wee bit fucking, oh, I don't know. It's like she's covering up her nerves or something with humour. Yeah, that is like me. Anyway, look, moving on. I'm not gonna fucking give me a therapy session on a Facebook Live here, but maybe that's why I never done dates, because it's remember, have you ever been here when I told you the one and only time I went on a date? Well, that must be true if I just said that. Aye, like, like an official one where you didn't really. Well, it's kind of like a blind date because I didn't fucking know him. Some guy just walked up to me when I was doing wine tasters in Waitrose. Can I just say, I'm just going to brag a little bit here, right? But don't worry, I mean, it's got a funny story. I mean, I'm bragging, but like, this is why looks don't matter, right? They do, though. I've said before, like, I'm, because of all the do-gooder stuff I do, you'd be like, looks don't matter, I don't care what they do. But it's like, no, they do, actually. I do tend to go for very good-looking men. I'm not gonna lie. I might be being biased. Maybe I'm just being biased. but basically, this guy just was walking through the Waitrose, and he was that hot that, like, some of the people that worked at, like, the cheese counter and the bakery and the fucking other people that weren't there, like, it was like they were doing the Chinese whispers until it got to me, right? Because I was standing at the end of the thing. And they were like, Claire, check this guy out, this guy's fucking tidy, right? And I'm like, well, right, you know what I mean? Maybe he's got a bird, he might be fucking married for all we know, right? And anyway, right enough, I'm like, I'll decide, right? Because I'm fussy as fuck, right? I'm like, nah, like, you know, all right looking, but no. But anyway, this guy turns the corner, I was like, oh, holy shit, who are you, right? And he actually was very hot. And then he walked right up, and anyway, there were people that came in quite a lot, and some of them were creepy. There was an old man that used to come in every Saturday and get the wine. And then there was another man that looked like the guy out of Bridget Jones, Mark Darcy. People actually called him Mark Darcy. And, you know, he's pushing his toddler around on a Saturday afternoon and he used to friendly chat away to him and all that and stuff. Well, did he or did he not fucking try it on with me on my last day? I'm not even fucking kidding, guys. I lost all faith in men that day. I was like, that is not good, Mr. Darcy. Not good behaviour. I think I just let him know politely it wasn't happening. As I was like, you know, talking to the kid to be like, fucking hell, like, make a point, like, you know what I mean? That's wrong. You shouldn't be doing that. Anyway, I was a very different, shy teenager at this point. But yeah, basically, long story short, I'm making the story very long, but never mind. It is funny. I've told it before, but it must need to be told again. I think it's to demonstrate the connection between true twins is very strange. Before it goes even stranger and you don't fucking talk to each other. Because what ended up happening was he asked for my, like, the good looking one asked for my number, right? Which I was fucking mortified, guys. I was absolutely fucking mortified, right? And that's what I mean. Even if I did fancy someone, I get so embarrassed at shit like that. I'd rather it didn't fucking happen than happen. Do you know what I mean? Because I'm like, I can't, like, it's all just all kinds of awkward. Do you know what I mean? That's why I was saying that when I was looking at that card. Like, oh, listen, I understand. Because anytime I've had to fucking do that, I've been shitting myself, and that's why I've never done it most of the time. But I have done it sometimes, knowing I would be fucking ignored. But I recovered. See what they done there. Oh my god. Yeah, basically, I was mortified, but I said yes. And remember, I told this not that long ago. And then basically, yeah, what he done was he like fucking texted me before I even got up the stairs for my break. I was like, whoa. Instantly not good. You know, I've got Venus and Aries. Look how long me and my twin flame have been playing cat and mouse. A long time. You know what I'm saying? Weirdly, that's what I find hot, right? You know what I mean? Catch me if you can. Except I'm not exactly very hard to catch for him, but that's not the point. I was at one point. But yeah, so this guy done that and I was like, oh, that's a wee bit off-putting, but we'll just ignore it. And I'm thinking there must be something wrong with this guy, right? Anyway, yeah. So what then happened was, long story short, I think, yeah, he was just majorly keen. And bear in mind, it's different if it's somebody you know and you're really into them and it's firing back and forwards. That's like, you can't get enough. But mind you, if you couldn't get enough, they'd probably be right next to you. Do you know what I mean? Like, fuck, what's all this about? You know what I mean? Unless it's building up some kind of tension, you know what I mean? But I didn't know this guy something. That's a wee bit much, like. And then, basically, we arranged a date, and it was really weird, because it was like, I'm sure we went out on like it was something really weird, like a Thursday or something. Because I had work the next day, or maybe it was I don't know, maybe I did work weekends, but fuck knows, right? That's not important. What was important is, long story short, I went on this date. The guy proceeded to tell me about his breakup the whole time. And that was after he basically tried to kiss me over the table as soon as I just fucking got to the pub, I might add, which was like a total old man pub where like loads of guys were hanging out. I don't know why. I think it was me that suggested it as well. Yeah, and he just sat and spoke about his ex and spoke about like they just had a baby, and I was like, oh god, this is just like what the fuck? Do you know what I mean? So yeah, anyway, so, you know, not being judgmental on that, I'm thinking, right, this is quite a fucking situ, but okay. Bear in mind this might be very relevant to people's pasts or presents or futures, so be careful whatever this means to people. But yeah, it was a fucking terrible night, but my god, did I learn. It was just highly awkward, and although the guy was really good looking, I was like, wow, he's a fucking drainer, and I wish him well, and I hope everything works out. I mean, for all I know, this guy got back with his bird, fuck knows, but it was all very draining, and I was like, shit. And then anyway, right, like that, and now I'm being serious, because this isn't fun. It is funny, but it's kind of not, that I was so terrible at boundaries. So this is a good example of, look how good I am at boundaries now. Well, some boundaries, because I need to get with the time. But I'm looking at, I wanted to do the next bit before now. But yeah, basically the night went on and on and on, right? Just kept drinking, ignore the fact I'm like, this is awkward as tits. How do I end it? Do you know what I mean? End it before it's even fucking began. Feel like you're breaking something. It felt like I was dumping him. And bear in mind, it's a first fucking date. You're meant to be fucking testing the waters to see if you like somebody. Do you know what I mean? I'd be like, I need to go back in time. I think I do need to do a journey to do that, to go back in time. Oh, how interesting. Anyway, just had that revelation there. You know, get a grip, Claire. Christ. Which basically is bringing me to the point, and that's what my twin flame said. And that sounds really weird, doesn't it? Because it's like, what? But bear in mind, we were never boyfriend, girlfriend or anything. And I didn't know when I was going to see him next. So it was whenever I next saw him. I don't know why it came up in conversation. Again, I can't imagine I was trying to make him jealous, because I'm not that I'm not that type of person in the slightest, and it doesn't, oh my god, does it not? It definitely doesn't work the other way back, let me fucking tell you. I've got Mars and Scorpio, that's a good way to make me not want to ever see somebody again, which I'm sure people use those tactics too. Anyway, but they don't work, because twins have got unconditional love between them. But basically, yeah, I just always remember that being really funny, that I told them what happened, which is basically that the guy came all the way back to mine. I know, don't. He said, remember, I did tell this on the long live, remember, he told me he never had any money to get back home because he lived in Fife, and I fucking believed them. Like, oh god, embarrassing. And yeah, so I just made it clear. I was like, look, nothing's gonna happen. Like, seriously. Like, I'm pretty sure you're talking shit, but in case you're not talking shit, for my conscience, you can say, Senny, of course he fucking tried it. And I'm like, listen, mate, and I did, you know, clear from the now time, must have came from the future, and, you know, and I was like, look, if you don't fucking cut that out, you're going on the couch. And the couch was a 2-seater Shan couch, you know, that would have been a shame. It'd be better sleeping in the hall on the floor, but I'm pretty sure my flatmate at the time wouldn't have appreciated stepping over some random man. We used to have house parties back in the day, but do you know what I mean? It's different if she's involved. I mean, it's if you're waking up to some man in your hall, it's a bit weird. Anyway, yeah, so it was just really awkward. So I just remember the next time I saw him, I was telling him, and he was just like, what did you do that for, Claire? I'm like, well, in reflection, I can see I shouldn't have done that, but I just got myself in a better situation. But, you know, I remember thinking at the time, like, it's funny that I bet you I was triggered, because you do, your twin flame fucking massively, you trigger each other, but at the same time they'll trigger you, but you'll really listen when they talk, and you'll learn, because it's you, like, it's basically you counselling yourself. It's really weird, isn't it? Before I was even a bloody counsellor. And I'm pretty sure he's needed the same fucking wisdom back a few times, but it's like, I hope I've helped him with some shit. Anyway, so I think that was just to make people laugh a little bit. Right, so wait a minute though. I think the exact time of the solstice is in like 4 minutes or something. So do I do the... Oh no, I need to just do this. I need to do this because I think it actually ties in somehow. Right, so the card... Wait a minute though, I did show... Oh yeah, that was the card of the Four of Swords, exhaustion, right? Exhaustion. By the way, that story, if you don't get that, just to really hammer home the point, it's demonstrating the kind of weird, although it's very sexual and very true lovey kind of vibes. Okay, you know, it depends. When I say the true lovey vibe, yeah, but that bit might have kicked in later after you don't see each other anymore. You know what I mean? Because that's how it was mean, you know. Anyway, but it's demonstrating the weird kind of brother sister kind of like helping out a best, but we're best pals. You know what I mean? That kind of vibe. Right, but I'm sure people got that. Right, so a collective of masculines, the ones that are, you know, healing right now. Everyone's healing, but you know what I mean, the ones that are in hiding. I'm afraid to contact you. I regret lying to you. Just being near you is intoxicating. I want you. I can't stop thinking about you. That's why lots of people can't sleep at night. I love you. I hope that you can forgive me one day. It was my fault, but I blamed you and I'm not available. So I've already explained that, right? That's because some literally aren't available. They're married. They've got kids to other folk. They're still fooling around. It could be none of those things, and the karmic issue is just other stuff that isn't a person. It's always going to be something though, right? And then just to hammer that home again, sometimes I stay awake thinking about you. I'd say right now though, in the world, it's like I say, it's all the time. Which is why it's highly awkward when people are still with folk. But listen, I think we're long past kind of hiding the secrets around here. Do you know what I'm saying? And I don't just mean around here on this channel. Like, it's quite commonly known. I know I messed up everything. It's just be careful who you listen to, because lots of them aren't genuine. But again, follow the golden rule, and that's when it was quite funny, because I was like, what's that, James? Because it's James Van Praag's card, so that might be relevant too. Thoughts create your reality. Feel the joy in all you do, so think good thoughts, right? Follow the golden rule. Again, we don't know what the golden rule is because you kept it a secret. Hello, Danny. Are you a man or a woman? Are you brand new? Have you followed for a while? Did I just pop up on your timeline? Are you a twin flame? Lots of questions. Set your intentions, right? So set your intentions, especially because we've got a new moon in Capricorn coming up. Set your intentions before it goes into Mercury Retrograde on the 29th, because you're not going to want to set your intentions then. And again, have the important conversations, because if it's stuff to do with twin flame communication, this is really important for divine masculines actually, but I'm trying to say this without creating pressure for the ones that aren't ready. But there is a whole collective of ones that are ready, and ones that have already taken action, because of the cards that I'm looking at, that basically, yeah, I say that because some divine feminines might not have done enough healing to really trust, and they may still have insecurities. Some have, some haven't, and they're, they know. I mean, it's all, again, there's always more healing for all of us to do, but that's kind of what I said on the video yesterday. Like, I'm really comfortable, I'm really secure within myself, and that's why I was talking about sex and stuff on the one yesterday, and it was relevant. It was like, I was just basically using an example of, if somebody came at you in quite a sexual way, would you be like, oh, all you want is sex and all that kind of stuff? And I've already moved through that, trust me. You could ask folk in my life if I ever totally overreacted when they said something a wee bit racy, and poor guy. I've done it to my twin flame quite a few times actually. But again, I know that he would totally know why I acted like that for Modi. Anyway, but again, that makes me cringe because I'm nowhere near that person now. But it's, so I move through it, so that's what I mean. I can help people that are still in that. But what I'm saying is, it's like, be careful, guys out there, or women that are in divine masculine energy. If you're contacting your twin, you've been holding it off, and then you do it after the 29th, because some people could be really suspicious of if you actually know how you feel, because Mercury retrograde is about mistakes, remember. So a lot of the time when people take action during Mercury retrograde, they can then later regret their decisions, because even I would be quite, whenever it is that happens, we let go of expectations, I would be wary because it's like people go back on what they say. So that's just something to keep in mind. But again, we don't let astrology rule your life, but it is quite a good point to make. Set your intentions. Right, a personal issue reaches resolutions and cancers about feelings. This is yesterday's energy, but it can make sense whenever. Work through your fears. Don't let your past hold you back. So that's probably makes sense with what I just said there. You're very close to achieving your goal. It's time to take action. Oh, I forgot that card, because that's the same card I've just pulled for today, from a different deck. Surrender to the divine and don't let your pride get in the way. So basically, yeah, that's for the ones that it's like if it's just fear, which is a big thing, or being exhausted. We're all fucking exhausted. That's not a good enough excuse. Or pride, like, you know what I mean? This is a hard one, because it is hard to, you know, and and I even said that it's triggering, isn't it? When someone's like, drop your pride and ego, be like, fuck you. Do you know what I mean? You've got even more pride and ego. But yeah, so whatever that means to you. So that was all the cards from yesterday, right? And the thingy was, I'm grown up and comfortable enough to ask for what I want in positive ways. And then how crazy is that it fits with what I'm channeling here? Is that there's no way around it, that the divine masculines, whether you're a man, woman, whatever you identify as, that are ready to, and you know, feel that call and want to, of course, free will. It's only the ones that actually want to. If someone doesn't want to, they don't want it, you know what I mean? It's kind of never never vibes, and I'm getting it's because, oh look, I wish I could take my words back. I'm getting it is because of what I'm picking up about people coming in. It's like, and again, I hate when I catch people saying that, but I have to give what I'm getting for others. And obviously I'm not going to keep fucking stressing that is, you know, that's not me, because again, it fucking might be me, right? It might be me that some fucking hottie's going to be like, I've actually fallen in love with you by watching you say how in love you are with another guy, and I'll be like, right, can I be your bird, but can I be your counsellor? Because you know what I mean, like, you need to value yourself more. Like, you can't be, you know, in love with somebody that's sitting saying they're in love with someone else. Like, that's, you know what I'm saying? Like, because you got to take it. I said it the other day in one of the recorded videos. If someone's telling you it's not going to happen, it's not going to happen. Do you know what I mean? But my twin, you know, gave that vibe, or it went anywhere remotely. I was like, right, see you later. Well, I was actually quite, I've said, I was quite cut, and I was like, all right then, okay, that's fine. But I think you'll fucking regret saying that, mate. I didn't say it like that, but that was basically the way that I said it. And then he's probably taken about 10 years to ever say anything back, just to be like, no, I didn't. But then he could be one of the ones that's secretly like, yes, I did, but I'm never going to admit that. And that would be a shame, wouldn't it? That's why they don't let pride stand in the way, because I'm not an I told you so person. Right, let's see with what I just said there. You and I were too young. All that was very immature, what I was just channeling there, to be honest. And I could own that, and I was involved in that. So, right, okay, so anyway. Do we know anything else about that for the collective of what I was just saying there? So this is today's one. Do you know what? Fuck it. I'm not going along with the fucking rules here. I'm going to finish the collective one for today, and then we'll just end it with a wee meditation. No, you know what I mean? But technically, let's do it like a, what do you call it, a minute silence or something. It's basically, what time is it now, someone? I'm like, what is happening? Wait a minute, I've got my other phone down here. It's now. It was 2 minutes ago. So let's just all close our eyes for a moment, right? And then I'll continue. 9 foot. Thank you, Charlotte. Right, close your eyes. I'm actually going to need to go and pee too. So I've been drinking all that fizzy water. So close your eyes and breathe in, telling yourself relax. And breathe out, telling yourself release. And I've just come up with a clever fix for this. I'm going to say that a couple more times. I'm going to have a pee, and you're going to sit in silence while I'm peeing. I'm going to close both doors so that you don't hear me peeing. I don't think you could hear me because it's a long hallway, but you never know. That's what we're going to do. I might even be a cheeky bastard and put the kettle on. You know what I mean? and you can chat amongst yourselves and the squirrel. Again, a shaggy squirrel. Hilarious. Right, so anyway. Breathing in, telling yourself relax. Breathing out, telling yourself release. Breathing in, relax. Breathing out, release. And this is where I would then go into my spiel. So I'll do it a little bit and then I'll pee. So I want you to begin to imagine a cloud of mist forming above the top of your head. And that cloud of mist has the power to dispel any negative... Oh, that's why they want me. Okay, I get it. Any negative energies or entities. Anything hanging about your aura that doesn't serve you at this time. And I'm lighting the sage as I'm saying it. They were just telling me because it was so close to it being the exact time just to do something quick. And you know why? Don't want to draw too much attention, but notice this is a bit where I clear the distortion and the fuckery, right? And the spell work and the black magic and whatever else the fuckers do out there. Hi fuckers, because there are fuckers that tune in here that do weird shit like that. This is a high time for them doing it. So protect your energy. And this is why, even if I'm coming on here tired, that's why I said, listen, that's yesterday's card, but we're all fucking exhausted. But I'm here to be a channel to do this, and it's important that there is some genuine healing going out there into the world at this time when people are doing group things that are not for the highest good of the collective. That's basically it. So, I want you to imagine that cloud of mist with the sage, because I'm sending you there as well, falling down over your head, smoothing over any worries, stress, busyness, any anxiety or worries. Just let it all melt away. And see that mist and that light going over your forehead, your third eye, allowing your third eye to open that little bit more to whatever you couldn't see before. Whether it's you couldn't see who your twin flame was in your life, because for some it's people that have been in your life a long time and you didn't see it until you're meant to see it. Or you didn't see it as on a deeper level as you're meant to see it. For some you don't know who your twin flame is yet, whatever. Whether it's who you need to see who the karmic partners are in your life, that's a challenging one as well, because whether it's romantic or non-romantic, karmic partners can be family members, they can be friends, they can be best friends. And often that can be even harder for something to someone to accept. Even harder than accepting, that an ex is toxic or a present partner. That's obviously very difficult, but there's something about when it is these other closer links to us that it's understandable that so somebody must be, for me to be saying this, or quite a few people, to be in absolute denial. And again, it's like I've said before, you have to work through the stages of grief around that, and I've definitely been through that myself quite a few times, until I was ready to accept it and create a boundary and not have the people in my life that I recognised it wasn't good for me, and most of the time it's not good for the other person as well. I'd say all the time actually when it's a karmic partner, and that's how you know it's a karmic partner, because there will be some toxicity or harmful, so, and again, listen, we all hurt each other, right? We all hurt each other, definitely unintentionally, and even, everybody's got I'm allowed to say, everyone's got a cunty side, you know what I'm saying? It's like everybody's got a shadow, everybody has bad days, but again, I'm one of these, a bad day isn't an excuse to be a C-word to somebody in your life, but again, it happens and not everybody's perfect. Forgive yourself, forgive people that have bad moods. Everything I'm channeling is part of this, by the way, and they better hurry up because I'm going to piss myself anyway, so, and I don't mean laughing, literally, but yeah, it's basically, that's what's going on. There's a lot of needing to accept that someone's behaviour in your life is not good for you, And so, like I say, you either create a boundary and you see less of them until they take accountability and, you know, the healing that they need, so that you're not around that as much. Or, like I say, in extreme cases, you have to, you do have to cut people out of your life and save yourself. And sometimes you're able to, you know, let the same people back in, because they can go through their own spiritual awakening, dark night soul, and find themselves basically, and remorse, and, you know, and that's why, again, that's good to look out for a Mercury retrograde. People, I've definitely been picking up on that in the collective, you know, like people really, and I'm talking about not even just like, you know, twin flames. I've been feeling that, like, anybody that's maybe wrong Jen, or, you know, where you can genuinely sort of feel, right, I genuinely actually never done anything and didn't deserve that. I feel lots of those people, if they haven't already been feeling regret and remorse, a lot of that will be up. So again, have a bit of grace and forgiveness for people, even if you're like, there's no fucking danger, I'm letting you know, I'm wanting them to be a friend again, no way. Hear somebody out, and then just speak your voice, like, look, I appreciate the apology, but you know, whatever, you know, it depends. So so just keep that in mind. And I always think, actually, you have that for exes, as it depends. If someone was really toxic and they were blowing your phone up and ignoring your boundaries and, I don't know, stalking you and whatever kind of shit that you've had, because there's some crazy fuckers out there. And again, but remember, even though I say crazy fuckers, that's been modelled somewhere. It's been made normal either by those family members or things you've seen on TV. So even have compassion for people that do that as well. It's panicky codependency. That's what I'm describing as a karmic relationship here. People that try to hold on to someone for dear life, and tell them what to do and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Right, so that's all that's going on there. So you're opening your eyes up to who all those people are in your life, wherever wow, that applies. And obviously it does, because it's really going for my throat, which, funnily enough, the energy is now moving down to the throat. So remember, I feel the collective energy, so it's okay, I'm all right. My inhaler's through there if I really need it, but that energy is moving through the throat chakra. Wherever you need to speak up to the karmic people, romantic or any other connection, it could be more than one person. We're clearing the blocks to doing that. Wherever people want to talk to twin flames and whatever's holding them back, confusion, illusion, clear that. Wherever there's worry, panic from twin flames that are worried that their twin's going to move on with someone else because they're not healing fast enough, we send healing to those people as well, and ask them to tune in to their heart to really pick up if that's true, or is that your own fear and ego. And again, these are things I can help people with personally if you're confused about that, because some people will have it wrong and it won't actually be your twin. Not everyone, but there are people, because that's what I'm going to help you with. Right, so, and now the energy moves down over the higher heart chakra, recalling Saint Germain and the violet flame to cleanse, clear and delete any previous requests that no longer serve your highest good across all timeline, space and dimension, versions of self. We'll also call in that healing for everything I just said for your twin flame with their higher self's permission. Can't imagine why your twin flame wouldn't want that healing, but we always just say, because I like to ask for permission. And then the energy moves down over your solar plexus, calling in your personal power wherever you've given that away, knowingly or unknowingly, because there are moments that we have where we're like, fuck, I really wish I'd done something. Like this, actually, and there you go, that's why I told that embarrassing story of the date that I had where I was like, wow, never fucking doing that again. but I suppose, to be fair to myself, right, in my defence, that was a blind date, wasn't it? I wouldn't go on a blind date, because what you turn up and they're like, wow, they're really not my type, you know what I mean? But again, it's a good example of looks aren't everything. They help, but you got to have the banter and the fucking intelligent conversation and shit like that going for you as well, you know what I'm saying? Looks fade. Beauty is skin deep. All the cliches. And now I want you to imagine a little daisy. I was going to say sunshine, but I got drawn to a daisy thing. A little daisy in your solar plexus spinning, and the orangey yellowy bit in the middle is the thing that's charging up your solar plexus. And just imagine it spinning like a wheel, or, you know, you could change it whatever you want. I just got drawn to daisy. Or you can imagine a sunshine, but just something yellow or goldeny, or change the colour if you want. It's up to you. There's no right and wrong around here in Claire's class. Oh, I like that, Claire's class. Yeah, and that's chucking out all of the stagnant, stale energy that is doing, you know, good. The worrying, because we worry at our solar plexus, and we can often worry about the day that isn't going to arrive. You're worrying, and there's no need to worry. And now the energy moves down to sacral chakra, where you could imagine flames or a fire burning, as in my eyes got drawn to a flame on a card when I said that. Charging up that sexual energy, that creativity, that passion, that fire. It sounds like people do need that drive, you know, that's your action. You need that. And I'm looking at a card that says go for it. That's that energy, go for it. It's Aries, it's Jupiter and Aries energy. Go for it, because it's the new moon in Aries card actually. And then the energy moves down to the root chakra, where we're asking for grounding, safety, security. And I want you to imagine a red ruby spinning at the base of your spine, grounding you, balancing your energy. And now all that I've been channeling, and I really am going to pee in a minute, now goes down, 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 all the way over your hips and over your knees, which are about worthiness, and you are worthy. And then the energy goes down over your legs and down through your feet. And out from your feet grow roots of a tree, growing down, down, all the way down to the bottom of Mother Earth. Whatever you imagine that to be like. And I want you to know that we're now detaching from the old earth of fear, lack and negativity. And like I said, this is a highly charged day. But unfortunately, high charge days can also be used for black magic and spell work and all these sorts of things. So very good to be wary. Anything, any kind of, I don't know, anybody, any kind of teachers of any kind of anything out there that are not also at least pointing towards some kind of shedding light on darkness or shadow work, even if it's not their niche or their speciality, if they're not even pointing in the direction of going and finding somebody that can do that, that is good at that, be really question that. And I'm talking about even people that have got 1 million subscribers or thousands and all that. It's be very, very discerning in these end times. Because just because someone's got thousands and millions of subscribers doesn't mean they're the real deal. People can just, have you ever seen people that just turn up overnight and they're like, who the fuck's that? I've literally never. And yeah, when we're talking about YouTube's a massive platform, because it's very possible that someone's a real deal and you've just come across them. But it's also wise to be like, right, that something's a bit fishy about on any platform. So just, I must be saying that for a reason. And just like I said, unfortunately, there'll be many people right now, as I'm channeling this to you guys, live or on the replay. And if anybody that's watching this a replay happen to take part in anything like that, not knowing that it's not a genuine one, we're transmuting the energy of whatever was done. They're not. So even if they did do it, we're changing it and they didn't, because that's what shamans do. I walk between the worlds, I walk between the dimensions. never happened. You heard me say earlier, I can go back to the past and have a wee word with myself about my boundaries. And then it'll change the why. And anyway, you can book a session if you want me to help you with that. So, yeah, we're cutting the cords to fear, lack and negativity of the old earth. Releasing the pain, remembering the lessons. And some of you have repeated the lessons enough, and you've definitely repeated the pain cycle, that you're ready to move on to the next part of your journey. Whether that be something exciting in your life and work, or new friendships or collaborations, or for a lot of you, the next part of your journey will be twin flame physical union. Like I say, so some people it will have already happened. Definitely today. A lot of them will have taken place today. I've already saw been guided to lots of things where, yeah, people are saying it's happening. So things are happening. So a little bit of hope for people out there. Now we've disconnected from the old earth, we connect to the new earth of peace, calm, abundance, balance of your own inner masculine and feminine energy, which is what you need to be paying attention to all the time. Definitely when you're not in union, you'll have to be paying attention to that. And even when you're still in union, you'll have to be paying attention to that. Because unfortunately, the twin flame triggering doesn't stop. But unfortunately, if you think staying away from your twin flame is going to fix that, that won't fix it either. Because you're going to be triggered either way. Because they're always going to be looking right back at you there in the literal mirror. Or mirrored around you in the world. And I would know that better than anyone, because as a shaman and a medium, I get everything mirrored back to me through everything, as you see all the time, so it can drive me fucking nuts. But it's also quite entertaining. You just got to embrace the cards you've been given, no pun there, the life. So I want you to pull up whatever it is you feel you personally need from the new earth, and I'm going to leave you sitting there, setting your own personal intention, and just sitting and just be open for your own guides, power animals, loved ones and spirit, because again, when I'm doing this, the door to the spirit world is open in a more magical way, and they're able to talk to you a lot easier, all of what I just said. So just be open, and I'm definitely absolutely going to go for a pee. And I'm actually going to put the kettle on too, so just that might be a bit challenging for some people if you're not big on meditating, to sit for, I can't imagine, I won't be any longer than 5 minutes, probably not even that, but just with the kettle, you know what I mean? I'm not going to come back in between. Well, I might, just to see that there's no dodgy comments or that, but yeah, so I'm setting a collective intention that we're sending out that group healing to transmute any fuckery that's going on out there. Any intentions that are going out to anyone, whether it be any of you guys, me, whether it be anyone going through karmic situations with friends, family, exes, present partners, people that are breaking up. I mean, this is another heightened day of that, because it's balancing the light and the dark. And it's highlighting the energies to do with a lot of the Capricorn placements that we're about to move into. Oh, actually, what am I talking about? Shit, that's why they're making me say that. See, everything means something. Now we've moved into it, yeah, because that is what the exact point is. The sun has moved into Capricorn, and Capricorn is long term. It's long term. It's success, long term successful relationships. It's what you go into wanting it to be the long game. You know what I mean? Because nobody gets into this. I wouldn't say nobody, but I think most people don't get into serious relationships or definitely marriages intending it to break down. Most people get in. Most people are good people. They get into things for a good reason. It's what they felt was right for them at the time, which is why none of us should beat ourselves up for any kind of relationship that we get involved in, whether it ends up fucking tits up and it all goes not very well, or or otherwise. It's, you know, you were meant to learn the lessons that you're learning right now or that you learned in the past. But it's easy for me to say that. I know that I've been there myself where it's like, I write whatever, fucking hell, why did I do that? But your soul chose this journey, right? And this too shall pass, that old chestnut that I like to say when I'm having a bad day, and it does work, it does. And it's actually, do you know what I always think when I say that, this too shall pass? It's a bit also to rewind when I was watching it in a film, and I think it might be Picture Perfect. It is, yeah, which is a very old film, but it is one of my favourites, and I channeled about it once. But it's basically, long story short, it's a guy having a fag in the film, just like, you know, it's somebody that works at the hotel, and he walks past her, and she looks miserable, and she shouldn't be. I think it's when you weren't meant to be smoking inside as well. Well, maybe not. It was that long ago. Probably was. But anyway, they sit and have a fag together, and then he says that this too shall pass, and it's not always, you can't really hear it. It's always have to remind it, and that's where I really liked it from. But anyway, it will pass. You will get through this, whatever you're going through, and definitely if it's your dark night of the soul. And it's interesting, the time just got to 85 minutes, so this is definitely relevant for the people that were born in 1985, which is an overwhelming amount of you. You will get through this. It's really tough because the South Node in Scorpio, you know, a lot of you will have that, and that's where it is. And like I say, it's well, it's not looking on the bright side, put it that way. It's the opposite. What balances that out is value. You know, learning to value yourself. Your lesson is you've got to learn to value yourself. You've got to learn to truly value yourself and put yourself first, and choose relationships that are worthy of you, how special you are. But in order for you to do that, you have to recognise how special you are. You know what I'm saying? So it's all very well, I can recognise how special you are. Others can recognise how special you are. Until you recognise how special you are and how loved you are, you're going to keep attracting friends at the same level. You're definitely going to keep attracting romantic relationships that are of that level. And again, it doesn't mean you don't have fun or a lot of love with these people, but what's happening to many people on the planet right now, and definitely twin flames, is your vibration is rising, your frequency is changing. And I mean, this is highly annoying that the guides have went into saying all of this. I'm still needing a pee, so I'm going to go in a minute. But it's see what I mean, but even that's magical in the way that I can still hold that energy, because I've just shut off to do it. But it's yeah, your energy's changing, and it's going to become blindingly obvious where you just don't fit in anymore. And it's and also when you're talking around people like that, they can't understand you. It's like it's written in the Bible, you know, like kind of, you know, those that could hear the music were deemed crazy. It's something like along those lines, you know what I mean? It just got to 88 when I said that, by the way. That's a twin flame number, mirrored numbers, and it's a number of abundance and personal power as well. But yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like, or you could start to be interested in different kind of spiritual topics and dip your toe in the water to see if anybody gets it, and you'll start to notice. Maybe you're lucky, and I know people, like some people might get it, but I do feel it's becoming really unbearable for some. So whoever that applies to, you know what I mean, this is to let you know that you're not alone, and you're not going crazy, because it can feel like you're going crazy. And like I say, I could go on and on, but I'm not, because I'll pee myself. And we don't want that to happen, right? It's like they're giving me, whenever my mum says, like my mum actually, I think it was today or yesterday, she said, oh no, it's today, she was in a hurry, she said, look, I do sympathise, but if I don't get going now, we're not going to be able to go for breakfast. So I actually had my best interests at heart as well, because I wanted that breakfast, you know what I'm saying? But sometimes, I don't always, but often I'll correct her in my son in the house of Virgo way. I don't do that all the time, because that's nippy as fuck when folk do that, but I like to correct people with sympathy and empathy because they're not the same thing. Sympathy, and this is actually a little video that I'll try and share it because it's a really good one. I think it's a Brene Brown one. That, you know, it's sympathy is when you look down on somebody and you pat them on the head and you're like, they're there, you know, it's all going to be all right. And it doesn't mean someone doesn't mean it, you know, it's, and again, it's the way that, like, my mum says it because it's, you know, the way that she will have been taught. But empathising's different because that is when you actually sit down on the floor with a person curled up in a ball because their whole fucking life's been torn to pieces. Maybe they've got no fucking money as well, because that happens a lot. Or if they've got money, their self-worth, their dignity's been stripped away from them. Sometimes it can be all of it. Something rough happens, or what, maybe someone's died and there's nothing we can do when someone's died. You know what I mean? That's why you go through the stages of grief. And that's really what your dark night of the soul is. You're grieving the death of your old self. You're not that person anymore. And they just pulled me to remember your identity, and that card's actually got a mask on it. The mask is slipping. The mask is slipping for you. The mask, I was about to say slipping for me, but I think my mask slipped quite a long fucking time ago, actually. I think that slipped right about a year ago when I started channeling and saying, hi guys, I heal twin flames, I only heal twin flames, and that's basically it. It doesn't mean I'm not going to be nice to people that aren't twin flames, but that's basically what I do. And that card's also got on it, you can do it, because basically it means you can let the mask slip. What's the worst that's going to happen? You find out who you really are and what you were really born to do, and you find out who the real friends are. They're actually drawing my attention to the fact, if somebody, this is a lot to remember. There's a meme, wait a minute, I'm going to write, of a guy, he's on a beach and he's like praying and he's basically like, fuck my life. And it's got lovely words on it, so I'll post it. So you don't need to be a guy, you can be a woman or whatever you identify as, but I feel lots of people will identify with the picture, and it's about the twin flame journey and the separation and all that. And I'm writing about the Brene video. And by the way, if you're like, why is this taking so fucking long? It's because I am a hypnotherapist too, and the way the light codes come in with the healing, it's so that people, if people are meant to fall asleep to let the healing go in, that happens, or you're just in a deeply relaxed state. So don't worry, I will bring us out of it to wake you up to. So if you do feel that you've went quite drowsy, and by the way, if anyone was driving, which I can see there's only a couple of people watching anyway, so but never ever drive when you're listening to my stuff, especially not when it's coming up Mercury Retrograde. Yeah, empathy is when you get down on the ground with someone and you're like, this is really shit. And sometimes that's all you need to say. In fact, if you want to be safe, you know, the less words the better. Just be there for someone. Because a lot of the times what I've seen, you know, I've channeled about this for years, you know, on all the different platforms. Having worked as a medium and a shaman and a counsellor and all the different things that I am, and specialising in grief is one of the things, you know, and like I'd said, it's not a coincidence that I saw that, what I posted earlier. One of the saddest things I've ever heard from people along the years is, you know, when somebody dies in your life, and particularly when it's, you know, children or somebody, you know, takes their own life or something, is, you know, that kind of when people cross the street because they feel too awkward to talk to you. And it always, you know, when I've had people say things like that to me over the years, it always just stayed with me that it's like, that is really heartbreaking, isn't it? That when somebody's had the most awful stuff happen to them and they need people more than ever, that people cross the street. And the thing is, forgive yourself if you've been that person. We all do it, you know, like with maybe not we think, but yeah, somebody could do that, and it, you know, and it's just, it is what it is. You might not be the type of person that can handle that. But you could grow into being somebody, and maybe even just me saying that helps someone out there sort of think about it, like, yeah, okay, it might be awkward and hard for me, but imagine how hard it is for that person. I might be able to bring a bit of joy to their day by being the person that actually acknowledges them today. Because somebody doesn't need to have died for that to happen. You know, it's the same, like, you know, you never know what acknowledging anyone that day might have done for them. I always think that about older people, you know, when I pass older men or women in the street, I'm always like giving them a wee jolly smile. You know, some of them might actually not be that jolly back and a bit grumpy, but most of them aren't. And it's, yeah, loneliness is a very real thing. And like I say, you can actually be very, very lonely with a lot of people around you, and it must be the case for me to be saying all of this. But right, I've spoke for a long time there, so they've said quite a lot of stuff there, and that's all the stuff that's going on in the collective right now. And I'm definitely absolutely 100% I'm going to go and do what I said I was going to do. So how interesting, it got to 95 minutes when I said that, right? So the way that they're telling me is it's like, you know what I mean, it's nearly 100%. Something in your life is just about at 100%. So that'll be different things for different people, but you're almost there. And that's like the card that says you're nearly reaching your goals. And when I finish this meditation, I am going to go into channeling today's energy. And I'm going to do Marie's cards because somebody's going to remind me, or I'm going to look at my thing to remind me. and then I'll get to my bed because I've been on here a while. But I want you for the next 3, 4, 5 minutes, however long I am, to just sit in your own energy. And if you get a guide or whatever, or a loved one in spirit talking to you, brilliant. But don't aim to do that, right? Just sit and be in your own company. Empathise with yourself. Give yourself a bit of love. I can hear my neighbours from my wall. I wonder if they can hear me. Right, I'm going to be back in a minute, so just you do that. You can't do it wrong. magical. Keeping your eyes closed. I just sat down as it's at 99 minutes. So you're almost 100% out there. Boom, 100. Done. That's going to mean something to someone. A few people. 20% battery though, so we better hurry this shit along. But if this one dies, I'll just swap and I'll get the other one. Right, so keeping your eyes closed. Just asking them if we need to do anything else. No. We're going to trust that that was clear enough and that you set your own personal intention and you took on board what was said. So, keep your eyes closed. I'm just going to ask you now to start to bring your awareness back slowly. Listening to the sounds around you. Don't open your eyes yet though. Bringing your awareness back to your body. And I'm going to count from 10 to 1. And when I get to 2, you're going to think about opening your eyes. And when I get to 1, you're going to open your eyes wide awake. Back on the YouTube, looking at that squirrel. And we can do the daily energies and Marie's cards, and if anyone else wants to donate, I will do people's cards, or if you want a free card, I'll pull you one card. Yeah, and so I might have enough battery to go to do that, but I think that's what they're telling me as well. We're reaching 100, it's like, right, done. After those things, which could still take an hour or something, but I don't think so. Right, so I'm gonna count to 1 now. So preparing to come back from the dimension that we went to, the healing quarters. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, thinking about opening your eyes. 1, opening your eyes, wide awake, back on the YouTube. And just let me know when you're back. There's nothing quite like that feeling when you really needed to pee, so I'm feeling great. And by the way, I'm not even joking, like, it's my battery didn't die this time. That's hilarious. Michelle's battery has died quite a few times when we've been on a Zoom. You know, I think a few people have heard me say that the last time, but for anyone that didn't, the chat behind that is that's awkward when you're doing hypnosis. But because I'm also a Reiki master and a shaman and the light codes and everything, I don't panic. I stay calm in a crisis. If it's my own crisis, it might be a different story, right? Nobody's perfect. Although, guys, I have been having asthma attacks and I have calmed myself down. It's not been very pleasant. Is it asthma attacks or is it a shitload of psychic attack I get for being who I am? It's a little bit of both, guys, I'm not going to lie, but it's not very nice anyway. But I deeply and unconditionally love myself. That sounded very EFT when I said that, the tapping. By the way, I bet you, some of you don't do, I do that. Do you know what I mean? So if anybody is interested in the EFT, the tapping, then you know, I can do that in a personal session with you. So it's very good for releasing the trapped emotions in the body, like what I wrote in that post earlier. I respond really well to that, actually. So so I must have said that for someone, but yeah, anyway, the point is that whenever that's happened, Michelle or anyone, it's happened in groups before when I've done it in my private groups and that, It's crazy how people still hear me telepathically. So, but it's because they have been training me, and I have been listening that about everything, whether it's my mediumship or my channeling or anything, twin flames or anything, is that yeah, the internet will all go down at some point, and it could happen at any point, you know, just like a fucking rapture could happen at any point. So, you know, tell the people that you love them, and be ready, you know, just be ready at any moment. You just never know what tomorrow holds. I mean, listen, I've just been saying I'm having fucking asthma attacks left, right, and centre. I might not wake up tomorrow, do you know what I mean? So if I do, I love you all, and I think we know who else I love. The man that shall not be named. Right. Thank you. You're so appreciated. You have no idea. I know that. I appreciate you. You brighten up my day. You and Charlotte, if Charlotte is still awake, Charlotte often falls fast asleep, and she'll wake up sparkled on the couch at some point. Right. So, and I appreciate all of you, but I can only call out the people that are here. So, let's do these cards. How much battery have I got now? 16%. Oh, 16's the tower, guys. Shit's kicking off. Right. So, don't know why I put on that accent. Right, so these were the cards that... This wasn't daily energy. This was just a message that I felt was for some of you out there. So I'll let you be the decider if it's you. I'll channel the message they want. So I pulled Go For It, New Moon in Aries. That feels like the Jupiter and Aries energy. Release Your Blocks, Moon in Scorpio. That was last night. Easier said than done, I know. But if you need help with that, I can help you one-to-one. Push through any insecurity. I can feel that in my heart. So there's a lot of healing going to people's heart chakra. Unleash your kindest self. And remember, I've just been channeling stuff about being kind to yourself. Moon in Capricorn, the sun has just went into Capricorn. And we're about to be in a new moon in Capricorn on the 23rd there. So technically we're in the dark moon now. Yeah, and that is the divine feminine energy. Can I just say there's quite a beautiful synchronicity of... I had got myself a recorded reading ages ago. And it always, you know, right, these things arrive in divine timing, and it was just a wee short one, but yeah, there was two, and it was only a 15-minute reading, but there was two divine feminine cards that were pulled for me. And it's funny because a bit like, again, some of the people I go to have got a connection with, and some of the people it's like they're that busy they don't remember that they've read you before, and there's something quite good about that, you know what I mean? It's like, oh, they genuinely don't remember. But yeah, it was just the fact that the person was like, and they're they are a Capricorn. They're very because again, I've said that before, but I love, and now this isn't just across the board, like people that are a Capricorn are good at psychic readings, but actually, to be honest though, yeah, a little bit, because I've got my third house in Capricorn, and it makes it very direct. But anyway, it's specifically for me because of that. I feel because it's my third house, it's like I must have a connection to Capricorn. Some people just for reading me. It's not like, because I when I try to think if I got friends that are actually a Capricorn, like I think maybe I know a guy that's a Capricorn, but I haven't seen him for it. But I can't really think right now. Not really, I don't think. It's not like I wouldn't, but you know what I mean? It's like a lot of my close people are like Scorpios, Aries, because these are my placements, Sagittarius, a lot of Taurus actually, and some of you are like, anyway, blah 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 blah, a lot of Leo moons. It's yeah, I just found that quite amazing that it was definitely where I'm at. And she's like a lot of divine feminine cards, and the balsamic moon, the dark moon, is the divine feminine. Divine feminine is the darkness, remember. Divine feminine energy is a badass. This one certainly fucking is, and I'm sure you are as well. Or you're on the journey to being that if you don't feel it. And even on your bad day, you're still a badass. And so are you divine masculines too, regardless of gender. But yeah, that's why you know, whenever you do get the honour and the privilege of witnessing true twin flames, if you see them together, that's what it'll be like. They're each other's backbone. And that's the only twins that have come into full union, not reunion. No that shit, because that's getting together, breaking up, getting together, breaking up, and that, you know, it's the people that have went through all of the journey, and then they get to the 100% bit where it's like, right, we draw a line in the sand, everything that happened before this point doesn't exist. Let's start again. And if you're in a position where you knew the person before for however long, I would even just approach it like it's somebody brand new. And it's not a coincidence, it's like, it's not quite there, but my eyes did get drawn to I thought it was going to be 111 when I said that, and that is new beginnings and alignment, and it's very kind of, it'd be like the Jupiter and Aries energy. But yeah, you would spot it, because it's there would be that flow and that trust, and not the other kind of weird shit that's about with people that haven't. It's not that other people that aren't twin flames won't have each other's back, because that's not true, they would, but it's twins that have come into union, like they've worked through enough of the crap that it's like, well, it's that. I think that's why they're making me channel it when I'm holding this. Because again, remember, some of this will be fucking news to me, because it's not happened to me yet in this life, and it did just reach 111 there. I'll tell you when it happens, if it happens. When it happens. Oh yeah, and it just was it was 5 ones when I said that. But yeah, you'll notice, because it's like there'll be that there, because both people will have went through some fucking serious shit. Anyway, release control, and then they'll have had to do this as well. That is one of the hardest things to do for the divine feminine and the divine masculine, is to release control of the outcome. That's why you'll always hear me say, release control, release expectations, especially around this time of year. Holy fucking mother of God, the amount of times I've been like, oh, it's Christmas, it's New Year, it's like when fucking Harry met Sally, and I tell you what, I think there's a reason why. I have not heard Mariah Carey once. I said that to my mum, I went, this is the first year ever in my life I've never heard. In fact, I tell a lie, I added it to my songs today, so I heard a bit of it, and I went, oh no, Mariah, I'm no fucking dealing with you, right? So I'm going to wait and see if I do hear that song, but I've not even heard it on a shorts or anything. Weird. I will now that I've said it. But yeah, because a lot of being realistic, very Capricorn, even when your twin isn't with anyone romantically, which bear in mind a lot of them are, some have got children, and it's you know, and you don't need to have children for it to be a bit, but you know, a lot will. And this could be you that I'm talking to, it could be a, and it's, you know, Christmas is about the kids, right? And it's and whatever, and Capricorn season, it is strict and it is serious, and it's, people are, you know, we've just moved into the darkness, you know what I mean? We've moved into the darkness so you can find the light within. I did channel that earlier, it's pretty heavy, but it's true. So release control. And then take inspired action. So what one is it? Are you in the release control of how everything unravels? Or are you ready to fuck it, let's go, take inspired action? And the thing that's weird about this, right, is I would not have put take inspired action for a full moon in Virgo. I've no idea why she chose that. So that means something too. It's like, this might happen out of the blue. Like, you might surprise yourself and be like, fuck it, I'm doing it now. So... And then we've got fucking energy, cool your emotions. So notice, oh, that's cool. It started with new moon in Aries, and it's finishing with full moon in Aries. So there's definitely something that somebody started on a new moon in Aries, and they finished it on the more recent full moon in Aries. Or it is just something something you once started needs to be finished, and there might be some hot, passionate, even angry emotions involved there. If that involves sex, don't mix the two. That's not healthy. I know it can be a lot of fun, but that is not healthy. Sorry, that was the counsellor side of me. You do what you want out there. Today I rejoice in every moment. Life is good. Now remember, that was just somebody's, well, I'm saying someday, it'll be a few people's messages, but it was cards that I pulled out and they were like, share them. So, right. Right, these were also, again, when I'm tidying up, I sometimes just sort of pick cards, and these were other ones that I picked. Please somebody remind me to do Marie's before I end this. Right, Sacred Divinity, and it's a shame I can't find the book, but there are 2 paths ahead, and it's got a 30th on it, so that might be something about the 30th of the month. But what I'm getting from this is Phoenix Rising vibes, and she looks very divine feminine. She's fucking unapologetic. You bash on hen, and that just reminded me of like a phoenix. But it reminds you of Jupiter going in Aries, all that fuck it, let's go energy. But this is a twin flame card as well. This is kind of interesting. There are 2 paths ahead. I do feel that is about some people that are. It's like there is a decision to be made. Because I go on a lot about, it's like some the karmic partners that can be a fucking nightmare, and they're, basically a fucking nightmare. Ones that are doing spell work on people, fuckery, cheating on your twin flame, you know what I mean? And all this kind of, not all of them, but some of them fucking absolutely definitely are. But some of them are, nice enough, and it's just the part in the story is over, so we have to be mindful of that. It's very rare that that's the case, though, I have to say. Working with thousands of twin flames, there's and also, to cover all bases here, when it's like a family member or a friend too, and the karmic part, there is that chance for somebody to heal, but some people don't want to heal. And I actually, some people would say that even includes twin flames. Definitely includes twin flames at some point. I've definitely been at points in the journey where I thought I was doing the healing, but I'd actually come at a bit of a standstill. I've definitely been at the part of the journey where I wasn't letting him go. I still question whether I actually have ever let him go. It's debatable, but I feel I've been there. I feel I'm there more than ever. And that's certainly what came through in the reading I had recently as well. It's because you do just reach a certain point where you're like, I'm not doing this to myself anymore, actually. But that's good. That's really good, because when you properly let go, magic happens. But what the annoying thing is, guys, you have to properly let go. Let go so much that when and if your twin flame pops up in your life, they happen to pop up at a really fucking unfortunate time when you're cutting about, right? You haven't brushed your teeth, your fucking hair's all about the place, or guys, you've no shaved, whatever else, Or like I used to give the analogy all the time, you pop to the garage for a pint of milk, you fucking run out first thing in the morning, and you're like, it's always when you see someone. That's the kind of things that can happen, and it's because you just fucking let go. You're like, you know what, I'm worthy, I love myself, truly love myself, I accept myself, I'm going to be kind to myself, I'm always going to love my twin, I'm always going to unconditionally love them and want them to be happy. But that means even if them being their happiest means not being with me, I let it go. That's when you're truly surrendering. But you've got to mean it. A lot of the times you might not mean it. Again, I've done that before over the years and I haven't meant it. And you can definitely lie to yourself, whatever that means to anyone. But do yourself a favour and mean it. Right, so. And remember, I'm just pointing out that doesn't need to mean, and in my, well, it is my personal clear opinion, but it's also the guide speaking through me. It's not wise. If you know you're a true twin flame, and those ones wouldn't even need me to say this, but for anyone that's a wee bit more new at the journey, it's not wise, if you know you're a true twin flame and you're a divine feminine, to entangle your energy with others when your end goal, doesn't sound very nice to call them that, but we are in Capricorn season, it is your twin flame. It's not. And it's not about the kind of mind fuckery and the games that others would play. It's not really about that. It's about the fact that it's energy. You know what I mean? And again, I wish I'd knew that when I was younger, but everything happens for a reason. It's you're entangling your sacred energy as it's staring at sacred divinity. See that's these guides talking through me again at that bit. And it's not worth it. especially in these times, because you just don't know what, and that's actually why a lot of your twin flames, or you, if you're the one that's staying away from someone, are staying away, because they're healing themselves, and they're clearing their energy, or trying to, or going to people to heal them, or, you know, some people that are watching me on the DL and that, and, you know, because actually that was really lovely. Someone messaged me recently saying that they'd sent a journey to a friend, and it really touched them, and that was, I love emails like that, so please do let me know. Don't think that you're going to be bothering me, because anyone out there, especially the men, right, I really want, again, can I just fuck it again, I need to make it clear with what I said earlier. If there is anyone in love with me out there and it's going to heal your throat chakra, let me know, right? But unless you're, you know who, you've not got a chance, right? That was funny, but it's true. But I could probably do the info. So, I was going to say the confidence boost, but I don't need a confidence boost. But it's always nice to know, isn't it? But no, and all jokes aside, oh, I forgot what I was saying now. That was so funny. I can't breathe. Tell me how I'm gonna breathe with no air, literally. What was I saying? It felt really important and I just fucked it up. See, that means something too. But it's fine, just let go. See, I let go of control. I'm like, whatever. Right, so. What's the battery on now? Oh my god, is it 5%? Fuck, right. I picked up the tarot. Oh, yes. So, honour your sacred divinity, right? So, are we clear? When you're taking time to heal, getting under somebody to get over someone, it's not a good path for a twin flame, right? If you've learned the hard way, that's fine. That was very unfortunate wording that I used, but quite funny. Let's move on. So, energy signature. The past is in the present. Oh god, that's going to have other meaning to people as well. Is the past in the present? Is the past affecting your present? Let it go. Create open communication. Surely I don't need to explain that one. They're talking about communication because of what I said about Mercury Retrograde. It's going to cause all kinds of fuckery and confusion, which is already on the twin flame journey for a reason. Again, that is for a reason, that there's mystery and confusion on divine feminine side about, I don't even know if my divine masculine is with someone anymore, isn't with someone, you know, I don't know if they're awake, I don't know if they're asleep, that's all. And some of you might be like, oh no, I do know this, I do know that, that's fine, but there's definitely some people that it's not, you know, it's not clear. And for divine masculines, some of them that maybe haven't thought to go to YouTube or whatever, or whenever that would apply. I can't imagine it apply to many, but whatever. But it will be some. Some of them will be. Some of yous, if that will be totally in the dark about what's going on with the divine feminine, because of course as well, you know, some people could be. I actually do know people that would apply to, that they, you know, they might make out that, because I can feel it, you know, because I'm so psychic, like, you know, they might make out like they're not with someone, or that they're not sort of seeing people, and they are, you know what I mean? And that's when I just kind of stop falling for it, because I'm like, it's not that they're not real, but it's that they've not got the, I don't know what the word is. Maybe it's the belief, actually, and I feel that's what I'm hearing. It's the belief for the patience, let's face it, you know, to kind of stay with it, because it's oh god, I can't even bother getting into this when I've been on this for ages, but it's not really about, it's once you get into the part, it's not about waiting on someone, and I know it can be hard not to say like that, but it's about truly accepting yourself and being comfortable with yourself. That is Ascension, and that is the twin flame journey, and that's why I say you can strive to let go of your twin flame, but I mean you're not gonna ever forget them, and you're not gonna really give it up, you know what I'm saying? But you can do your best to get to it, and the only way you can do that is by truly loving yourself and relaxing into where you are in the present moment. I'm sure there's a card that said something about the present moment. I don't know where it's gone. And that only happens day by day, bit by bit. With just keeping it real. But the more you keep it real, then that's the card that I was channeling when you said your eyes closed. You can do it. Look, it's got a mask on it. When you're just being real about it, and again, remember, you don't need to be as real as me. It is my life purpose to be real and to be real in public. I'm fucking fortunately. But I'm never going to be as real as what I would be 100,000,000%. The person I'm going to be really doing that with, dropping the mask entirely, would be him. You know what I mean? I think you fucking hold something back from us, but it's like, but yeah, right. So 3%. I pulled the World card. Completion. When I was channeling, and there's the King of Cups. So the Barry's about to die, right? So I'm going to get my other phone, but that means something. 21 may be significant here too, but it's completion. You've learned the lesson. Yeah, I'll do it. Remind me, because I'm going to come back on the other phone because I was going to die. Thank you, Michelle. Look, and then it allows the King of Cups. Now, this is a man, but it could be a woman that's in the divine masculine, is able to share their emotions. It's funny because sometimes people channel that the King of Cups keeps their emotions back, but do you know why a King of Cups would keep their emotions back? Because they're so fucking overwhelmed, they don't know how to put into words how much they love you. That's the truth of it. It's like they're so... yeah, they're just swimming in emotion. Look, he's actually, like, the water's up to his knees. He doesn't know how to put into words, or she doesn't. So they're just letting fate take its course. I might just channel until it cuts me off. That is the ones that have taken themselves out of third parties. Because when there's a third party involved, or I don't really like, sometimes that's not very respectful to say that, because that can be people's fucking husbands and wives, but again, it just depends, right? Because a lot of the time it's somebody that's literally doesn't care about your twin and that much, right, or enough, and in a lot of cases it's like they actually have known that someone is like a twin flame couple, and just because they did. I know where that applies, that it's like, yeah, I can totally get that person and fuck this up, and it's all part of the journey. It's fucked up, isn't it? But it is all part of the journey. It's like, that's why they're making me channel that for divine it's definitely for divine masculine, but for divine feminines as well. You just never know who can pop up out the woodwork. It's to test you. It's to test the lust. It's to test the commitment. It's to test the true love. And like I say, it is a little bit different for divine masculines, because you do tend to get a lot more shit in the 3D. in the sense of that way, like karmic romantic partners, because it's the lessons, the different lessons. It's just the way it is. Do you know what I mean? And any true twin flame couples get that. Again, it does. It's not going to feel nice when you're on